Okay, so this is where things start picking up. Stay with me. If you need to go back and pause or see what I've done, just stay with me. You will get this. This is the bit where we get more advanced, and this is what's going to set you apart from everyone else using simple video software. So this timeline, it plays along left to right, and obviously everything below the timeline head is being shown. So let me just show you what happens if I drag beach out the way. Beach isn't going to be shown here on the screen. So what we could do is we could drag our layers out, and here if I hold shift, by the way, it's going to snap to that playhead. So I drag the layer out, I drag vibes a bit more, and then I drag swipe up. So here is just something really basic. You could go with that. You could render that out and that is fine. But we're going to do something a bit more different. So just follow along, do as I do, and you will understand this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twirl down beach, and then I'm going to go to animate, and I'm going to click position. And the same principles that we learn now apply again and again throughout After Effects. So when you get your head around this once, it's just going to be really easy. So in my head, what I want is I want beach to slide up, and then I want vibes to slide below it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to go forward 1 second, and then I'm going to click the position keyframe. So After Effects knows at 1 second in, I want beach vibes to be here, and then I'm going to scroll back and I'm going to drag it down completely out of the way, so you get this sort of animation, right? But two things here: one, you don't want to see it when it's dragged down, and two, the animation looks rubbish because it's really slow and boring. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click beach here, and we can either go layer, new, we can either go mask, new mask, or we can press Control Shift and N for November and see how this mask has been drawn around beach. Masks are a topic of their own, but just know that what it means is that as we scroll back now, it's only going to show beach within the mask, which is perfect. So let's have a look now. You've got beach coming out of the mask, and then all we do is we can do the same for vibes. So let's go scroll down by clicking the little arrow down and go to animate. And we'll go to position, and then we'll go 1 second in, and we will click position here, and then we'll go back to the start. We can actually stay at 1 second, and we can put the mask on now. Control Shift and N, you can see the mask has gone around, and then we can scroll back to the start, and we can drag this up. So now you can see we've got that sort of look, which looks pretty awesome if you ask me. But the animation is really slow, so this is where it could look really off-putting. But what we're going to do, first of all, let's select our keyframes and let's press F9, and you can see that they've changed. So what this means is before, the keyframes were just animating in a linear fashion, so they were going from one point to the other at the same speed. So now we've pressed F9, what this does is it adds easy ease, and easy ease just means that the speed speeds up and then slows down. So we've got a smoother animation here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both my keyframes, and I'm going to select this little graph editor icon at the top. By the way, if you haven't got any of these icons, you may be, or any of this, these little guys in the corner, just make sure you've got them clicked. Not that last one, you don't really need that. Just make sure so you can see everything here. So follow me with this, select both these keyframes, press the graph editor, and you can see now we've got this graph which just shows that the animation speeds up and slows down. Looks crazy, but bear with me. If you can't see this, right click and make sure you've got edit speed graph here. Now if I zoom in here, if I click either of these handles, what I can do is I can change the speed, so the speed either speeds up. If you have a look at vibes, see how vibes nudges in now? Nudge. So we're going to select that, and then we're going to do the same for beach. So we'll select both the keyframes graph editor, click the bottom left and just pull it across to the middle. So now, see how they've got that kind of, it's like they've got brakes on. And you can play around with these. You can actually select them all, drag them all into the middle and get a nice nudge like that, which I think I'm going to leave mine at. Now if I press L, I collapse the layers, I can go to fit, and now we've got beach vibes popping in like that, which is looking great. And maybe we can get swipe up to fly in from the bottom. So what we're going to do now is just go to swipe up, press P. Maybe we'll go to, I'm just going to 2 seconds and 20 frames, hitting P, coming back to 2 seconds and just dragging it off the screen. By bringing the right number down, we're bringing the vertical number down. And that's just going to bring it in like that. And then we're going to do the same. Select both the keyframes and press F9. And now it's got like an eased sort of animation. And then we can go into the graph editor, and you can either, if you drag it towards the start, most of the animation happens and it's got the brakes on. If you drag it them both towards the middle, it kind of gives you that jerky animation, which I really like. So now if we drag to the start of the timeline, we've got that. But I think I want beach vibes, and then straight after I really want that swipe up come in. So what I can do is I can just drag my keyframes. Bear in mind, if you can't see any of these, just press U and you can see all your keyframes. I could drag these keyframes so that they're in line, so that just after that animation, swipe up comes in. And now to reverse this animation, if you want to get really crazy with this, if you want to reverse the animation, what we can do is we can duplicate this layer. Let's press U so you can see. And then if I go to time and time reverse layer, you can see that it's actually reversed the layer. So what I need to do first is I need to cut my initial beach layer. So I'm going to press Alt and right square bracket. And then I'm going to go up to my beach 2 and I'm going to press Alt and left square bracket. And just to make this easier to see, I'm going to drag this below. So you've got beach 1 and 2. Effectively, you duplicate beach, cut both the layers and reverse it. And now what's going to happen is beach is going to disappear like this. So you've got beach comes in. I might even drag this layer back so that beach disappears here, and then all I'll do is I'll cut this from the start of this with Alt and left bracket, and now you can see beach will come in. And it'll go out, same animation out, so it's nice and smooth. And then all we do is do the same with vibes. So I'm just going to do this quickly because we've just seen it. So I'm just going to open up all my keyframes here. I'm going to go time, reverse layer for vibes. I can just drag vibes back and just hold shift so that it snaps to that keyframe, to the same position. Alt and left bracket to trim that version, Alt and right bracket to trim that version. So now, and then finally with swipe up, I can do the same. I can duplicate, time reverse layer. Again, if you're getting all of this, please post your results and let's see what you've come up with, because you're really keeping up well. So the animation was a little bit shorter for, let's actually close these layers and let's just open up swipe up. So yep. So the animation actually took place where the other animation ended. So we can go to about here and swipe up is going to disappear. And then all we've got to do is trim these layers down. So you see we end up with the opposite. Beach vibes, swipe up. Beach vibes disappears, swipe up, disappears. Alright, now what about all this? We want to trim the fat off this, so I'm going to press shift, snap to the end playhead, and then I'm going to go drag this little blue guy across and hold shift, and then right click and trim comp to work area, and it's going to make the composition this long, which looks great. So that's everything for this short little lesson on animation. The final part is going to be adding some music and rendering this out so we can use it wherever we like, and I'll see you in the next lesson.